Welcome to the Crimson Guitars custom guitar building workshop. I'm going to walk you through in this short video the final preparation of your frets. Now this is the user interface, as it were, of the instrument. It doesn't really matter what else happens. If you've not done your utmost to make a guitar as comfortable as possible to play, then there is no point in trying to build a guitar. There are various ways to mask off the fretboard. There are StewMac, etc. sell little slim metal covers that you can put on each fret and work away. They never fit exactly perfectly, and I don't like using them. I'd rather spend 20 minutes or half an hour putting a couple of layers of masking tape on to protect the fretboard. And that is what I do.
Before you can level your frets, you have to know that the fretboard itself is perfectly flat. Now wood moves and flexes, and you obviously use the truss rod to adjust this. A backlight is essential, and obviously a good straight edge. The next stage is to mark off every single fret with some black permanent marker. The generic term for leveling frets is stoning them, and they used to use stones to do it. I, however, have a preference for this file. It's loaded into a custom handle I've made, although you can buy more, and it means that it's much quicker than using silica. As you go, check away and make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do. Now here you see what happens with the permanent marker. Any black bits left show that that fret, where it is still black, is lower than the frets on either side of it. What you're after is a silver line along every single fret. Next out comes that little hand bastard, and this is a file that I've customized. The edges have been ground away and polished so that as I profile each fret, I don't dig into the fretboard itself. Even though I've masked it, you can rip away masking and still damage your £2,000 instrument. It wouldn't be a good idea. There are there are concave files that are supposed to be very good for dressing frets like this. They are useful and can be quicker, but you have to have the exact right size, and you have to be very careful. If it is slightly too deep for the fret, you'll cut into your fretboard. I prefer the flexibility given to me by using this file here. Other people have customized triangular files to do the same job, and it's all down to what you feel most comfortable using. Every single process that I'm showing you here, I've arrived at over years. Once the fret is perfectly profiled, by that I mean the edges have been taken away so that you're left with a perfectly central, clean line of silver fret that is an even width down every single fret. Then you can start the polishing. First of all, I go 400, 600 and 800 grit wet and dry paper wrapped around my fingers, and that will follow the profile of the fret. That removes all of the file marks, and then you go through various grades of wire wool. Now this is the stage that most guitar builders or guitar factories will not bother with. They will go to the wire wool stage, and the frets are serviceable and relatively comfortable. Now, A way to do this at home is to use a chrome polish. This is used on motorbikes quite a lot, and it's a very, very good, very soft and gentle polish. Silver polish, Brasso even, would do the trick, although those tend to be liquids and would get beneath your masking and damage your fretboard. I prefer creams. There's a lot of hard work involved in doing it by hand like that. The Dremel. The wonderful, wonderful Dremel. I've got various little buffing wheels. They don't last particularly long, but load them up with some jeweler's rouge and you will save yourself hours and hours and hours of hard labour. The thing to look out for, especially if you glue your frets in, this is high speed and you can heat your fret up too much, enough to melt your glue, and thus all of your fret levelling would be to naught. As you can see, I'm rocking over every single portion of each fret. I tend to do 1 or 2 frets per load and then go back and put more jeweler's rouge on. Basically it's a polishing compound that is used for polishing silvers and golds and metals and things, and there's a fine grade of polishing compound suspended in the waxy substance, and you end up with an utterly comfortable, perfectly shiny, slick fretboard, or set of frets I should say. Being careful not to remove your lacquer. That is the one danger of masking off the sides of the board like that. That's a new process. I used to leave the ends of the frets and do those by hand, but masking off the side of the fretboard, it works as long as you're careful not to pull your lacquer away. Now this board has not been oiled. It is raw wood, and it's been in my storeroom for years, staying nice and dry. And the next stage is obviously to oil it. Having a look at our lovely little dragonfly in there. Oh no, the next stage isn't to oil it. Sorry. Talking about lacquer, and comfort, I'm just carefully scraping away with a new sharp scalpel blade, scraping away the edge of the fretboard, and that gives it a played-in, old, sort of vintagey feel, and makes it much more comfortable. Many coats of lemon oil later, and a bit of a buff with a soft towel, and you have the final result of a perfect fretboard. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our various video channels and follow the daily workshop feed through Twitter and Facebook, etc. This has been Ben Crow at crimsonguitars.com.